also watch this conversation on YouTube. And let me again show this screen that today's subject is all about designing your life. And our guest speaker is going to talk on this subject, have interaction with you on this subject. And please give a big round of applause and help me to welcome today's speaker, David Nair. Yes, David Nair.
Very good evening to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Good. How is everybody? I need you to use your finger exercises for the next 30 to 35 minutes or even 40 minutes. I need you to start typing on there to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel currently? Quickly, let's see what's happening in the chat channel. How do you feel currently? On a scale of 1 to 10, 4, 6, 7, 4, 5. I need to keep coming. Awesome. Great. 8, 9, 7, 6. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the key things is prior to us talking anything, getting involved in anything, I need to make sure, and you need to make sure your state of mind is at its peak or at least close to its peak. Otherwise, there is no synchronity. So if you're lying down, please sit upright. Number one. Number two, if you're watching the TV, turn it off. Number three, make sure you are interacting with a notepad and pen, because a lot of what I'm going to share has got nothing to do with textbooks. It's called you're getting your MBA or a PhD from the main street of your city experience. You get the message? So my question asking you, how do you feel, is to figure out where are you with your state. And if your state is not right, doesn't matter how hard you work, it's not going to happen. Now, I'm going to kickstart with a particular aspect. How many here actually live in an apartment, own a home, or live in a home and own the home and apartment? Can you just type in there, I own a home, or I live in an apartment? Very quickly. Very quickly. Yes for owning, no for not owning. Very quickly. Very quickly. I need you to type yes for owning, no for not owning. Okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. The whole segment is going to be interactive. I don't believe in putting PowerPoints up personally, because that's how I involve people to get the impact. Fantastic. Now, those that have bought a home, I want you to now think, when you bought the home, what were some of the things that happened in that exercise prior to you going and buying that home? What happened? You had a builder, he had a block of land. What do you think the builder had to do? Can you type in there? What do you think the builder had to do? Very quickly, type on there. I said to you, it's going to be finger exercises. What do you think the builder had to do? Foundation, before the foundation. Suresh, before the foundation. Design the home. Yes, he would have gone to an architect and got their home sketched out. Not on a piece of paper, but on a design and a drafting paper. Now, there's not just one design, ladies and gentlemen, not one sheet of paper. He would have had reams for a home, at least 15 to 20 sheets. The first sheet obviously will be the sketch. Second sheet, foundations, structures. Third sheet, the interiors. Fourth sheet, the wiring. Fifth sheet, what do you think could be the fifth sheet? It could be all the extras, the auxiliaries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was done for a home, a hotel, or any resort. Is a home, a hotel, or a resort important, or your life? I want you to show me your design for your life. Can you type on there? If you have a design for your life, say yes. If you don't have a paper-driven design, if you don't have, say no. Quickly, on there. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Now, you see the percentages of yes. I'm reading through the names, and most of them are people who have actually been involved in self-development. Those that have said no, they have not. And one of the key things I'm saying to you is be honest. A design for life is vital. My point to many people in the industry, is we go to work, we come back. We go to work, we come back. And we do that for something like 45 to 50 years. And when we retire, we have something like 15 to 20 years that we spend hoping to have a wonderful life. To me, life is a journey. And when you have it right, you will then understand where you're going in this life. So the key element here is, as you journey through the life, can you now tell me in that life, what are the parts or the components that make that life, that make up your life? Just start typing in there. What are some of the components that make up your life? Some of the components. What are some of the areas of your life? It could be, keep coming, keep coming. Happiness. What else? Keep coming. As I said to you, if you give me 10%, I give you 0. If you give me 50%, I give you 0. If you give me 75%, I might give you 10%. My God, if you give me 100% of your effort and commitment, I will give you 200%. So let me see some exercises coming in there, please. Trust. What about the area of family? Anybody thought about that? Why are you taking care of only yourself? Another area of life. What about the area in relation to your career or your business? Is that important? What about your health? What about your spirituality? Are you getting my message? Now, have you designed a life that you have in each of those areas, and have you got something put together under your arm that you can say, this is my life and this is how I'm driving it? You see, ladies and gentlemen, destiny is a matter of choice, not chance. You now can either get to your destination based on your life plan, or you can get to your destination like the water meandering in a river as it hits the Bay of Bengal. You tell me, which do you want? Do you want a life journey that is designed under your belt? Or do you want something you're happy to go lucky, and then when the day comes, decide to leave this earth and say, thank you very much? Which of the two do you want? The first or the second? Come on, let me see. One or two, the first or the second? I need to see some responses. Otherwise, like Kaunyan said, I can sit still. I've got no problems. Fantastic. Now, let me share with you. There are some new names I'm seeing here. Let me very quickly, in 1 to 2 minutes, share with you who the speaker is, so you get a feel for it. A very simple speaker who could not say boo at the age of 14. His confidence was lower than a pregnant ant, which means he had so poor confidence he could not come up from the floor. So much so that his parents kicked him out of home and sent him to a place called Brisbane, Australia to study. And in the course of that, he found the only way to come up in life was like a teacher. So I had to go and look for coaches and teachers who taught me. At the age of 14, I found my first coach who taught me how to become financially independent by the time I was 33, 34. I am not saying that to boast. I am saying that the vital importance of a coach is imperative. Empowerment Talks have set a platform for you. They're bringing in top coaches. Now, if you don't maximize on that, don't blame anybody. And it is free. That is the problem, I told Faisal. When you give anything for free, people do not appreciate it. So start taking notes. At the age of 14 to 33, how did this guy get financial independence? A very simple thing. He just attached himself to what he says the coattail, the back of the shirt of the coach. When the coach said, do this, I didn't say why. I didn't say how. And I didn't ask him, why should I do it? What I said is very simple. When he asked me to jump, I jumped. I just said, how high? And I jumped. See, in our culture, we have this one thing called EGO. And I've experienced this in the last 3 days from the talks that I've given out. How people are so bogged down with that is holding their growth. One of your primary areas in life that you want to come up in is to ensure you give the best for your family. It is not work. It's to ensure you give your best for the family. The second area is to ensure there is some good inflow of income, either in a business or in your career. The third area, to ensure you are centered well and actually you have spiritualism running through your system. And when's the flow? Not religion. I didn't say religion. Spiritualism. And last but not least, how are you doing your recreation and your social? So all of the areas, you can put it into 4 quadrants. And if I asked you to scale your 4 quadrants on a scale of 1 to 10, you don't tell me, you do that exercise in that exercise book. Draw a circle, center is you. In the center of the circle, put you. And then from each quadrant, you put the 4 names I've given you. Number 1 is your family. Number 2 is your career or business. Number 3 is your recreation or social. Number 4 is your spiritual. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being at the center of the circle, 10 being at the outer circle. Put on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in each of the 4 quadrants? If it's 4 out of 10, if it's 6 out of 10, it's 2 out of 10, just put a dot on that. If you're finished, type Y in it. If you have not finished, type no. Quickly, on the chat channel. I need to see you happening something on the chat channel. If you're finished, please type Y on it. Those that have not finished, I'll give you another 10 seconds. Fantastic. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to, like what Steve Jobs always talks, join the dots. I would like you to join the dot of each of the quadrants together. And can some of you explain or put on the chat channel, what is the shape that is coming out? Is it a round circle? Is it a square? Is it a rectangle? Square. Keep going. Keep going. Square. Rhombus. Wow. What else? Keep going. Shapeless. Keep going. Keep going. I need some more. I need some more. Come on, participate. You're not here for a free lunch. Guys, if you're gone out for a water or for a cup of tea, that's okay. But if you've gone out, left this channel on and having your dinner, just turn it off, please. Irregular shape. Now, my point to you is I would like you to take that shape and put it on a two-wheeler, preferably a car, and try to drive down the main street. Would you get a good ride or a rough ride? Type the word in there. If you had a round circle or if you had an oval, you'll have a good ride. If it was another shape, is it a rough ride? Yes, it's not rideable. Keep going. Bumpy. Exactly. Why the hell do you think our life is rough and bumpy? Because we have not found the balance. That's the point. We have not found the balance. And I am good. No, is what we say. Cut the garbage, guys. Pull the shield off. Throw your ego and say, I need to improve. That's what I did to my coach. That's why he taught me how to become independent at 33. And guess what? Coming from an Indian family, you need a piece of paper. So my parents were pushing me to become a doctor. I said no, because both of them are in the medical profession. I said no. I wanted to become a chartered accountant because my uncle John was teaching how finance. He showed me how to become a businessman. So I became a CPA. And I joined the third largest oil and gas company. By the time I was 23, I was appointed the youngest vice president for third largest oil and gas, with a territory starting from Shanghai, China, all the way to Tasman in South Australia. That's not to boast. That's to say, when you have your head right, things happen. When you have a right hand and a left hand, a coach, things happen. Now, Faisal and Yas have put together this platform. And if you're not maximizing on it, don't blame anybody. I'm serious on this. Because I see many people coast through life and they blame everybody else, but they don't blame themselves. Because every time you point your finger at somebody, there is 3 fingers pointing back at you. Take stock. Now, let me bring some harmony in here. Now that you've seen that, I then decided to approach my father and say, Dad, I want to go to India because we came from India. I want to give something back. And he said, why? You've got such a beautiful family. You've got a beautiful home. You've got acreage there, farm, and all of that type of thing. You're financially independent at such a young age. Why don't you enjoy your life? And I said, my life is not happy. But more than that, my life is not fulfilled. There is a difference. Kaung Yin and I were talking about this. There is a difference. I will not touch fulfillment today, but I will touch happiness today. Now, what you got to now understand is, for your life to be happy, you need to do certain things inside of you. You need to do certain things with you. So he said, okay, go if you want to go. And I told him very simply, if I do not go and I just give a charity, tomorrow they will still be hungry. If I came there and I taught families, if I got involved with some of the community leaders, which I do, and you see the transformation that is happening. He said, fine. Because I said to him, if I teach them how to do that, they know how to fish. They can live for life. But if I gave them money, tomorrow they want to come and put their hands out for some more money. So I came to India in 98, and my journey from India, pan-India, starting from Amritsar, all the way down the coastal towns, I've explained that in the previous, just have a look at the previous videos. I formed what I call a platform to connect with people. I came not knowing one soul in India. I ended up within 5 years with 50 of the top 500 companies in India, coaching their CEOs or the senior managers. How did that happen? Luck? Yes, it is luck. And I spell luck this way: L-U-C-K. Labor under correct knowledge. You make your luck, ladies and gentlemen. It does not happen on a silver platter. You make your luck. You see why I make my luck? It's because there's a person called God up there. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Hindu, whether you're a Jain, whether you're a Buddhist, we believe in a God. We believe in the universe. And that person gave us the most precious gift of life, the gift of breath. And I didn't want to do a 6 out of 10 for that person in everything I do. I wanted to do a 9 out of 10 in everything I did for that person called God. So I put my whole gusto into life. And so happens, when you put your whole gusto into life, life pays you back. That's called the cause and effect, the universal law of cause and effect. Most of us don't understand this. In this world, there is 100 irrefutable laws of success. I'm not here to preach to you about that. Go find out and read about them. Gravity is one of them. But the other laws of success which relate to us, we are not applying that. And that's why we are struggling in life. This is not the platform for me to talk on that in detail. You need to find a coach. You need to find a coach, a right-hand coach and a left-hand coach. That's what companies did. And I'm telling you very honestly, companies didn't just come in and say, can you do coaching for me? Will you do it free for me? No way. Like Anthony Robbins, one of my gurus, one of my mentors. If you've heard of Tony Robbins, you will know. I've been following Tony and I've been working with Tony very closely since 1996. In Brisbane, Australia was when I first met Tony. I've worked with him in Fiji. I've worked with him in London. I've worked with him here in Singapore, in Australia. Now, Tony Robbins' rate of coaching per day is $1 million. He coached President Clinton just before he was put on the court case, the day before. And Clinton is free today. Never went to jail. He coached Lady Di. So coaches are a vital commodity. You don't have to go hunt for it. Mr. E.T. Talks have done it for you. Use it. Use it. Faisal and Yas have put it together for you and their team. Use it. Now, when you want to step up further, reach out for other coaches in the world. Come down to a subject called happiness that Kaunian touched on. And that gave me happiness when I went around India doing that. And it so happened, when you get happiness, you get a lot of money also. I don't know why. That's called luck in India. Luck from South India. Now, interesting thought to keep in mind. Happiness factor. What do you think are some of the areas of happiness that you want to do? For me, there are 4 steps. Write this down very quickly. 4 steps to happiness. 4 steps. The first step to being happy, put your core values in place together. Your commandments, I guess I call it. What are your core values? Can somebody write one of their core values on the platform very quickly? Write one of your core values on the platform very quickly. Each of you write a core value down, please. Come on. Each of you write a core value down, please. Integrity, politeness, self-respect. Keep going, courage. Keep going, keep going. I need some more. Come on, come on, come on. Kindness. Keep going, keep going. Now, what I need you to do is very simple. What I need you to do is very simple. I need you to very quickly make sure that you are actually in a state, write down the core values. I need you to put 10 of those core values down immediately. Write down in your pad 10 core values very quickly. Write 10 core values very quickly.
Keep on writing, guys. David will be back soon. I have written mine. So Raman Nair, honesty, Gurung, patience. Okay. Keep on writing. For me, integrity, kindness, compassion, honesty, family, well-being, Shoaib ethics, yeah. Kamal, never hurt anyone. Oh, Ramanujan has written all honesty, ownership, trust, ethics, character, discipline, empathy, fun, integrity, kindness, forgiveness, be human. Impressive, Ramanujan sir. Ashish Shukla, self-respect, patience, honesty, kindness. I'm also learning. Great. Let me write some more. Okay. Okay, keep on writing, guys. confidence, integrity, honesty, discipline, compassion, kindness. Thank you, Radha. Michael Pinto, honesty, politeness, empathy, sharing, helping, curiosity, respect, nature, integrity, friendship, always hoping for the best. Great values, Michael Pinto. Dipesh, helpfulness, honesty, kindness, very good. Ashish Shukla has written self-respect, patience, honesty, kindness. Great values, Ashish. Let me quickly read the others. Yeah, David is back. Dipesh has written, welcome back, David. Our audience has written lots of values. I was going through the chat box and you can, yeah, I have put
Very
you
good.
on mute. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I sincere apologies because we had just a power clip down and I had to come back on again, rebooting. Okay, guys, have you done that? Have you done those values in there? Yes? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
David. I can see on
Okay,
the chat box, David, they have written a lot.
fabulous. Very good. Now, from those core values, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to identify 3 of the most important core value that will give you and your family the fulfillment, the happiness that you will want. Husband and wives, if there is a tiff at the home, forget the tiff for now. Which is the value that will give you the maximum for your family? Which is the value? Write 3 of them down. Once you have done that, you now need to work out how are you going to get over the challenges that you're currently encountering. If you need to go and get outside counsel, do it. Otherwise, stay at home and discuss it over the table. Have a lot of cup of tea or cup of water and have the discussion for the family. Put your ego in the toilet bowl and talk. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to take this definition of communication from me. It is not anywhere, it's my own version. Communication in any relationship, ladies and gentlemen, those that have challenges at home, which I know they do, because I'm getting about 10 to 15 calls minimum a day for me to talk with people, and I'm not able to handle it. So I've told many of them, do not send me messages to call, just text me, and I'll make an appointment to give you some time for you. So there are relationship issues, especially in the pandemic arena time. So my suggestion is communication in any relationship is like blood to life. It's like blood to life. You take blood away from life, what happens to life? It dies. You take communication away from a relationship, what happens to it? It dies. So if there is an issue with communication between husband, wife, between mother, daughter, father, son, you be the bigger person, Bigger. You be the bigger person to come out of that ego and go down and sit and talk. If it means you be the first person to say sorry, say sorry. It is hard, but only when you start doing that will you have breakthroughs in communication. Is that clear? Can I see it on the chat channel? Yes or no? Good. Fantastic. Now, once you have done that, you now are starting to make some change in your environment. That's the third step. And the breakthrough does not happen until you continuously work with this change over time. The first communication could be very tight. The second communication could be less, tighter. Then you'll find a resolution. Once you have that, for some reason inside of you, you feel happy. So when you go to work, you feel happy. When you go to business, you feel happy. When you walk around, you feel happy. That's the bottom line, guys. Once you get your happiness, you then come back into the 4 quadrants and you set your goals for each of the 4 quadrants. If I were you, I would invest in a notebook. A notebook, as they say in South India. Notebook. 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 It doesn't have to be a fancy notebook, something that's about 100 rupees or 50 rupees, whatever. When I walked through India on my first circuit around, I used to, in the Rotary Club talks, tell them 20 rupees can change your life. Everybody laughed at me. Now those guys are CEOs and they understand what this 20 rupees change of life means. Buy a notebook for 20 rupees. It'll change your life. I have something like 42 such notebooks because I am stupid, and stupid people get paid very well. I have 14 coaches who got me to where I am. And many people say, wow, you must be very bad. Yeah, I'm very bad. That's why I got 14 coaches. And that's why I'm a multimillionaire. So please take stock. What you need to understand is there is a lot of people out in the market there trying to turn around and tell you, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. I've worked with India as a keynote speaker. I have been speaking in Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Australia, UAE, UK, Spain, South Africa, and UK, I've said that. And obviously India. So I'm coming and I'm explaining to you something like 30 odd years of experience. And in the course of doing that, I must be lucky enough to say, as a stupid man, I have transformed, I helped 250,000 people change their lives. Because my purpose in life was set when I left Australia in 96. And the purpose is put so simply, and that's why I do these sessions for you. To have a mindset shift, heart set shift, and a soul set shift. I want to impact 1 million people to have a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift, such that they can improve their lifestyle and that of the next generation. And I failed. I failed because in the last 20 years, I've only been able to help 250,000 people. I did not get the target of 1 million. So today I'm doing a lot of these sessions, trying to meet with people, trying to connect with them and give them one drop of wisdom. But before I did that, I was shy still. But I had one very good guru who taught me how to do this. He showed me how to do keynote speaking. He showed me how to publish a book. And the 3rd week of November, my first book is going to be launched. It is called I Excel. You Excel. Wired for Success. That is 25 years of work experience putting through 250,000 participants to change their head and come up in life. Most of the participants today are in senior positions around the globe. At least 15% of them are in vice president and CEO levels. So my sincere suggestion is I would suggest to you to look at that. Now, for those that are interested in looking at locking into the book, I would sincerely suggest you look at purchasing the book. But more than that, I'm going to throw a freebie here today. Part of this package here. I'm going to tell the guys, you come up with a purpose. I didn't work on purpose here today. I talked on purpose the other day. You go into eTalks and you look at some of the old videos, especially last Sunday's video on the mastermind titled The Why, and you figure out how to do your why. If your why is big enough, the facts don't count. So you write your why down, three sentences. You write your why down, and then for half a paragraph, you write how you got that why, and send it to this email ID, david.nair@gmail.com. david.nair@gmail.com. We will have a panel of judges who will select the top 50. And we will release the first chapter of the book to you. Or even, who knows, if it's a generous day, I might even release an ebook. See how I feel. So, gentlemen and ladies, take stock. Why did I focus on the why? I spoke about building and having a design like a home. I spoke about happiness, linking it to your quadrants in life, the parts of your life. I spoke about from there filtering it down to get happiness, the 4 parts of it. And now, for you to really keep going, you need to have a why. And I have a saying, if your why is big enough, the facts don't count. You see, I don't live in India. I live in Brisbane, Australia. But I come here 6 to 8 times in India and the different parts of the world to make this impact on people. And unfortunately, or fortunately for some of the Indians, the pandemic has held me back here. Since March the 22nd, I've been stranded in Chennai. So I've been doing a lot of these talks from here. My family is still in Brisbane, Australia. But we have virtual dinners and virtual lunches every so often. See, the why is big enough. The facts don't count. Yes, I'm away from my family, but I have a purpose. That's what you got to look at. Get your purpose right, guys. Now, once you have done that and you have sent your emails in, my key point to you now, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody will be on this fast track for success. Not everybody. I understand that because I've worked with so many people. And within the next 3 years, I plan to get 1 million people transformed. And if you want to be one of that, you better get into this wagon with ET, Empowerment Talks, and start working, and we will see what comes out of that. But the key area is for those that are not on the fast track, I want to give you something. I want to give you something so you can then get to understand life. What do I want to give you? Very simply put, when you get up in the morning, every morning, when you get up, I only want you to do 2 things, because you're not into all the other things that the gung-ho people, the really motivated, enthusiastic people are doing. Some of us are dragging out of bed. I want to give you a vitamin, what I call a vitamin booster. Do 2 things. 1, 2. Number 1, the first thing you get up, sit in your bed, and for 1 moment think, what is one goal I want to do today? Write this down. What is one goal I want to do today? So sit there for a few minutes and say, okay, it would be as simple as I want to make sure I have cleaned the house well. Or I want to make sure I tidy my bookshelves well. Hey, by the way, do you like my books? I am unfortunately a reader. I love books. Can you see it? Can you see it? Books, books, books. My third guru taught me to read because I hated reading. Now, what I want to do is I want you to now write one goal that will change. It could be anything. It could be reading a chapter. It could be being nice to your wife or your husband. Whatever it is, one simple thing. That's the first thing you do. And do that every day. The second thing I want you to look at, decide who you're going to be today. Are you going to be the grouchy old person like yesterday? Or are you going to be a smiley? Or are you going to be, hey, come, let me help you? Only 2 things. Now, everybody can do that. You cannot say, I am not motivated to do that. The first thing is, what is one goal I want for me today? The second thing is, decide what you want to do today. Because I know not everybody is on the fast track. So I'm helping the ones that are a bit slow and not wanting to get involved, or not gung-ho, not motivated, got too much in the mind. Here is 2 simple things that you can do every day to create a transformation in your life, ladies and gentlemen. Is there any questions? I take questions on now. Thank you, Kaunia.
Thank you so much, David. If why is big enough, facts don't count. That's a powerful statement, ladies and gentlemen. And what I am learning is that I must know what is my why. I must know what is my purpose. I
Oh, sorry.
must know why I'm
Sorry.
getting up every morning. Yes, David.
Yeah, sorry. Can I just interrupt 1 minute? I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see my mug? Do you know
Yes, sir.
what is written there? Can you see it? What is written there?
Yes, we all can see.
It's called Carpe Diem. Very simply put, seize the day. You have to seize the day. That's why I gave you the two simple statements for those that are not up to speed. Don't waste the day. Because you have given the breath of life, you can now fly up and offer it to the God that you believe. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kanyan. Continue, please.
Seize the day. Powerful statement again, David. I wish this conversation would have been continued for another 1 hour, but unfortunately, we can't do it today. And instead of that, I invite all our audience to please either you can write your question in the chat box or use the Zoom features, raise your hand, and you can directly ask the question to David. But before our audience get ready, David, I have a couple of questions. If you allow me, can I ask some questions, sir?
Please, I am at your service.
Great, great. You mentioned very important thing and the metaphor, what you use, the design of a house. So at what age or at what stage of life one individual should start thinking of designing the life?
Very good question. A very good question. Now, let me tell you something, and this is the difference, and I don't want you to feel bad about this, guys. In certain countries, the children are given a lot of freedom. Okay? What I mean by a lot of freedom, they're allowed to do a lot of things at a very young age. And in a lot of cases, both parents are avid people who do reading, avid people who are constantly in connect with people outside. Their association power is out, great. They have a lot of friends come and visit. So the children are growing up in an environment like that. Now, for them, any age, in fact, my kids started at the age of 5 to start their dream book. My family didn't teach me the dream book. That's not to say they were bad. But when I went to Australia, I found out a shy guy. I was thrown in the wilderness and I found a coach who at the age of 14 taught me how to put together this concept of design. And I knew he was very open. I call him Uncle John. He was very open. He said, Dave, I'll tell you the story, what actually happened, so you really will know. He told me, I said to him, I went to the bank and I said, I saw him negotiating in the phone and at home was talking about property and stuff like that. So I plucked up enough courage. I went to the bank one day at 14 years and 6 months or something. I knocked on the bank manager's door and I said, sir, I'm here to borrow some money. He said, come on in, son. So he put me in his table next to him and he said, what would you like to borrow? And I said, I want to borrow for a home. He said, good, good. He said, have you got a bank account? I said, no. Next thing he said, do you have a deposit? I said, no. Next thing he said, how do you expect to pay for the money that you borrow? And I asked him the question. I thought it was a valid question. I asked him, do I have to pay it back? You see, this kid didn't even know he had to pay the money back. It doesn't matter what age. Are you understanding? It is a matter of how hungry
What you're telling
you are.
True, true. And what you're giving message, David, what I'm learning is that as a parents, we have our own responsibilities to teach all such things to the children, isn't it? So what is your suggestion to the parents like us?
Very simple. Do not teach your children anything you do not do. So if you not set a dream book, if you're not set a purpose, if you not set a life or designed your life, don't go and tell your children, do this, do this, do this. They will look at you and say, why, pa? Why, ma? Are you getting my message? Walk the walk before you do the talk. So I am proud to tell you everything that I am sharing, all my exercises, all my templates that is written in that book. 25 years of work experience. There are a lot of exercises in the book, and there's a lot of philosophies in the book, a lot of metaphors in the book. Each one of them is steered to an exercise.
True. And
You go and
David,
do the exercises.
sure, we'll do that. We are looking forward for your book, and definitely we all would love to get that copies. My other question, David, is that you mentioned destiny is a choice. So also you have given some hint about the choices, but if I may ask you every day, what should be our top 5 choices for the day?
Very simple. This is why I keep telling people, those that do not have a purpose in life are meandering minstrels. Anything, see why we get overwhelmed. Many of us get over anxious because there's a lot of work to do and we don't know which one to do. You get into my YouTube channel and you will see there is a video there called Overwhelmed. It's only 3 minutes. And if you can't spare 3 minutes to listen to that, then you're not worth, any penny. 3 minutes, go into that YouTube and listen to what I talk about and how you handle overwhelmment. And while you're coming out, just subscribe button there. Hit the subscribe button because you'll constantly get all these videos. My videos don't go very long. They're 2 to 3 minutes. One of the key things is you need to now understand if your why is big enough, the facts don't count. So you do everything that's focused on your why. Anything else is second, third, fourth priority.
Makes sense. Thank you, David. The other question coming to my mind is that people say that happiness and success found in the present, but it's a bit challenging to bring the mind every time in the present moment. So how to keep your mind into present all the moment? What's your take on that?
Now, the present moment for you to live every moment with fulfillment and joy. Now, you cannot be a grouch 1 minute and then be next minute. You cannot do that. So when you get up in the morning, that's why those 2 exercises are there. When you get up in the morning, Empowerment Talks has actually put together what they call the 5 a.m. club that they're running, which is a pattern that a lot of the top speakers have been promoting. I've been promoting that for the last 25 years. And the guys that have gone up the echelon, up the corporate ladder, up to become an entrepreneur are the ones that are practicing these morning rituals, I call it. Okay. And I have 3 phases of rituals. The first phase is only 30 minutes. The second phase is 1 hour. The third phase is 1 hour and 3/4, 1 hour, 45 minutes. Now, for you, depending on where you are in life, when you do that, you will live your moment every day, every minute. If you don't do that, you will be a wandering minstrel. So you live the moment by getting your 5 a.m. club or your morning rituals in place, and then you superimpose your why on it, and then you see how this masala works. Man, I tell you, it will be the best biryani ever on this world.
Yeah, but one of the challenge, David, what I personally feel, and I believe my audience as well, is that yes, time management we can do, but energy management, that's the challenge. So what do you suggest, how to manage energy so that we collaborate with the time management, energy management, and get the peak performance?
Okay. Now, I can give you all the details that are involved in it, which is called, how do I get change state and all of that, but I don't have the time here. I'm just going to give you one small little pattern. Okay. For the rest of it, I'm going to say buy my book because in it, I've shown you state changes and what you have to do to get that. But here, learn to breathe.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you just one moment, Kanya. I'll tell you why. When you take O2 into your system, it floats in the blood and it attaches itself to a thing called hemoglobin. O2, hemo. When the 2 gets together, a tsunami happens. So the more oxygen in your system, the better the tsunami, or stronger the tsunami. So what you got to now understand is many people, watch me, huh? Watch me. Can you see me? Watch me. You go like this. They just breathe and think they're pushing the chest out. They're okay. No. Stand up, breathe in deep and push your stomach down. Don't push your chest out. When you push your stomach down, it automatically pushes your chest out. So breathe. Therefore, the lung capacity becomes bigger. Therefore, more oxygen gets in. And that's the art. Go practice it. Will it happen next day? No. You have not been doing it for 45 years, some of you. So it'll take you some time. Practice. Thank you.
Meditation, yeah, you're right. And as you know that the through 5 a.m. club, we every day we do this rituals, and meditation is one of the important element of that ritual. So thank you very much for explaining the benefits of this meditation. And other question coming to my mind related to happiness, David, is as you mentioned, the relationship. It matters a lot.
Yeah.
So what is your take on the relationship with self and self-love, self-compassion kind of attributes? How does these kind of thing help in getting happiness?
You see, I'll tell you something. I am working with a lot of millennium generation kids, and that is not to put them down. Okay. One of the key things I am finding, including the baby boomers, which are the older generation, many of them are looking for validation. You know what I mean by looking for validation? When they do something, they want a recognition for that. And especially today, when they put in Facebook and they put something, there's no like, their morale and their depression go down. When there's 50 likes, they go, ah! You see, it is dependent on external factors. And I know so many of them. When they put a message, when they put a post, and there is no one acknowledging it, they go up and they cry to their mother, they cry to their father, they turn on and talk to their sister, the brother, and they howl at everybody because it is not working, they say. Actually, you don't need it. And that's why I use this phrase, fill your bank account, not money bank account. This cup, fill your cup full of love. Fill your cup full of courage. Fill your cup full of all the qualities I spoke about. Then you stand up like a champion. If your cup is not full, if your cup is half full, any little wind, poof, you'll fall. But if your cup is reasonably full, even a whoo does not push you over. Does that make sense, guys? I'm very animated when I like to express, okay? So I don't apologize for it because that's my style and I want people to feel it.
This reminds me, David, life was very happier when apple and blackberry were just fruits. But these gadgets and the social platform, social media, what's your take on that? And what the suggestion would you like to give to the addict of social media?
Very simple. Very simple. If you look at Steve Jobs, he's never let his children ever close to any digital equipment. He himself admits it. And the same with a friend from Microsoft, Bill Gates. Okay. My key point is, I'm not saying give them devoid of it. I am today seeing children of 3 and 4, they're jumping up and down if they don't get the phone. Who is in control? Who puts the discipline? Don't hit the child. There's a way to talk. That's the first thing. You put some time barriers. As an example, when my kids were growing up, one of the key things we put in place, they have free access to the internet. At that stage, none of these gadgets were there, but internet was in access. We didn't stop them from watching any internet. They could have gone and saw porn movies if they wanted to. But you know something? Both because of the trust we have with them, and they are aware, we have put a mechanism in the back of our server at home. We have a home server, not a computer, not a laptop, a server. And that monitors where the searches and what's happening. They know mommy and daddy are watching them through that. You get the message? So you put your measuring sticks in place. One of my gurus taught me this: what gets measured gets done. So we put the measuring stick so our children know. So when it comes to gadgets, when it comes to mobile phones, Very simple. If you need to, I thought that I have to answer every call. Hey, for crying out loud, I go to the toilet and I see a guy in the urinal with a mobile phone. Is it that important? Huh? The other day I was driving a car and hanging out of the back of the garbage truck is this guy with a mobile phone. I mean, if he left to go one hand, he'll be on the road. That has taken over our life. You don't need it. My coach number 8 told me this because I used to get a lot of calls from around the globe. I used to transfer funds because in the mining industry, we build mines. And each mine is in excess of $1.2, $1.3 billion. And I was responsible for 4 mines as a finance director. Now, so what we did was we were transferring funds from different locations. Like when it is at night in New York, it's daytime in Hong Kong. So when you transfer the money, you get a better interest rate, short-term money market. That money comes into Australia. I would get calls 24/7 because there's no time zone for me. And I used to tell that to Jerry. Jerry would say, David, you are the fool. In those days, we didn't have anything else. He said, get an answering machine. For those that don't know what an answering machine is, go and ask your daddy. I bought an answering machine. So from about 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I never answered calls, AM. They went to the answering machine. 5:30, I hit the button and I start my transactions. So boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, understand, you control the conversation. Don't let the conversation control you. Mobile phones, you use it when you need to. When the call comes in, like today, there were 8 calls that happened in a time when I was talking to a client who was in desperate need. In fact, she's just coming out of a suicide case from 3 days ago. And her call was more important to me than answering the 8 calls. I didn't answer the calls. Thereafter, I went and looked at it. Only 3 of them were calls that were pertaining to me. The others were just other numbers. Any numbers that I don't have in my contact file, I don't respond. Put that discipline.
Yeah, thank you, David. But normally it has happened what I have observed with me and with my friends and others that, and you rightly mentioned that the ego comes in between. What is your suggestion so that we manage with the ego and we ensure that we don't get trapped into that and get the real happiness?
And you're asking, how can you get that?
Yeah.
Very simple. Very simple. They're very good question too. I don't know. Most of the people here, I don't know if you heard me talk at the 5 a.m. club or heard me talk at the other. I will just tell you one snippet of what happened. When I got kicked out of home at the age of 14 and a half, literally means sent to Australia, my dad gave me a book. And as he gave me that book, I won't tell you the story in the book. You go and watch the video of the 2 sessions I spoke about. As he gave me that book, this is what he told me. His words of wisdom. He said, Mohan, that's my pet name. He said, Mohan, be a student of life till the day you die. And I said, oh. I said, I'm going to Australia to get a degree and then I'm going to work. He said, no. You have not known it yet, but be a student for the rest of your life. Now, I understood later, after my coach number 1, after my coach number 2, and now currently I'm working with coach number 14. And my coach number 14 is younger than me, much younger than me. I learn from kids. I learn from youth. I learn from everybody. So this coach was telling me, what he admired about my quality is, and this is in an open forum of 2,500, 3,000 people, the humility and the simplicity of this man, because he wants to study and learn anything that's available. Very few people do that. So if you want to get rid of your ego, be a student of life. When you are a student of life, doesn't matter who's telling you anything, you are a student taking it in. Later on, you go and digest, and then you can do whatever you want with it. That's my take on how you take away ego.
Yeah, makes sense, but seems to be tough.
It is tough.
I'm sure.
Hello, 1 minute. Before I came on this, I was listening. Pardon me. Before I came on this channel, I was. Pardon me. I was listening to. Thank you. I was listening to a YouTube. And this YouTube was sent to me by one of my friends from America. And this person was saying, why do people have these challenges in life? Why is it so? pardon me, why is it so hard in life? And why is this? Why is that? So this guy says to this person, he said, very simple. Before I came to this home, I came past an area where people were lying down and people were very calm, and it was very calm and serene as I drove past there. Then I came to this house. And now I'm telling you, if you're wanting, why is it so this and that? I would suggest you go and see what those people are doing. So this guy went out to see what these people are doing. And when he went there, he found out it was a cemetery. Now, if you don't have challenges, if you don't have any struggles, just go to the cemetery and stay there.
Got the message, David. Thank
Are you
so
getting my
much.
message?
Thank you so much, David.
Every part of life there is going to be a challenge. It's how you maneuver through challenge that makes your life.
Thank you so much. We are running out of time now, and on the behalf of Empowerment Talks, on the team members, I would like to again thank you for your time and all your insights. I believe you have given us the tips to be happy every moment. So thank you so much. But before I ask our audience to ask more questions to you, what is your experience, David, coming to this platform and having conversation with us?
We're talking about Empowerment Talks in particular?
This session, this episode, are you happy?
Oh yes, very much so, very much so. My only point is I want to see the chat channels. I want to see a lot more activity in the chat channels. You know, that'll come with time. But currently, the way it's conducted, I truly, and in fact, I've spoken to Faisal a couple of times. It is really, really good what they have done, Faisal and Yats, and obviously the team, and how you have put this together, especially in the pandemic, guys. You don't know how lucky you are. Forget the pandemic, huh? Forget COVID-19. You really don't know how lucky you are getting up this morning and having the breath of life.
True. Thank you so much, David. It was a great to host you, to learn from you, all your wisdoms and all your golden nuggets. I'm definitely going to implement, and I'm sure audience of this session have learned many things from you, and they all are going to implement the tips to become more happier. Thank you so much for your time.